Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Baradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Baradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastuchade Satarane Om Aganati Mirandasya Ganangana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srimad Bhagavatam class. What is it? Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 41. Athaitāni na seveta bubhūṣuḥ puruṣaḥ kvacit viśeṣato dharma-śīlo rājā loka-patir guruḥ athaitāni na seveta bubhūṣuḥ puruṣaḥ kvacit viśeṣato dharma-śīlo rājā loka-patir guruḥ athaitāni na seveta bubhūṣuḥ puruṣaḥ kvacit viśeṣato dharma-śīlo rājā loka-patir guruḥ seveta bubhūṣuḥ puruṣaḥ kvacit viśeṣato dharma-śīlo rājā loka-patir guruḥ athaitāni na seveta bubhūṣuḥ puruṣaḥ kvacit viśeṣato dharma-śīlo rājā loka-patir guruḥ athaitāni na seveta bubhūṣuḥ puruṣaḥ kvacit viśeṣato dharma-śīlo rājā loka-patir guruḥ athaitāni na seveta bubhūṣuḥ puruṣaḥ kvacit viśeṣato dharma-śīlo rājā loka-patir guruḥ bubhūṣuḥ puruṣaḥ kvacit viśeṣato dharma-śīlo rājā loka-patir guruḥ atha, therefore, etāni, all these, na, never, seveta, come in contact, bubhūṣuḥ, those who desire well-being, puruṣaḥ, person, kvacit, in any circumstances, viśeṣato, specifically, dharma-śīlaḥ, those who are on the progressive path of liberation, rājā, the king, loka-patir, public leader, guruḥ, the brāhmaṇas and the sannyāsīs. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Therefore, whoever desires progressive well-being, especially kings, religionists, public leaders, brāhmaṇas and sannyāsīs, should never come in contact with the four above mentioned irreligious principles. Purport. The brāhmaṇas are the religious preceptors for all other castes, and the sannyāsīs are the spiritual masters for all the castes and orders of society. So also are the king and the public leaders, who are responsible for the material welfare of all people. The progressive religionists and those who are responsible human beings, or those who do not want to spoil their valuable human lives, should refrain from all the principles of irreligiosity, especially illicit connection with women. If a brāhmaṇa is not truthful, all his claims as a brāhmaṇa at once become null and void. If a sannyāsī is illicitly connected with women, all his claims as a sannyāsī at once become false. Similarly, if the king and the public leader are unnecessarily proud or habituated to drinking and smoking, certainly they become disqualified to discharge public welfare activities. Truthfulness is the basic principle of all religions. The four leaders of the human society, namely the sannyāsīs, the brāhmaṇa, the king and the public leader, must be tested crucially by their character and qualification. Before one can be accepted as a spiritual or material master of society, he must be tested by the above-mentioned criteria of character. Such public speakers may be less qualified in academic qualifications, but it is necessary primarily that they be free from the contamination of the four disqualifications, namely gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev. So, we are in the Kali Yuga. So within the Kali Yuga there are different symptoms. So we can understand we are in the Kali Yuga by the symptoms of Kali. So Prabhupada in one purport he says that it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam that in Kali Yuga the heads of government will be plunderers and thieves. These thieves and plunderers take the money and property of the public by force or connivance. Therefore it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, rājā nirgime dashu dharma-bhi. As Kali Yuga advances, we can see that these characteristics are already visible. So one of the main problems in Kali Yuga is the lack of good qualities of human beings. In Bhagavatam, I think it's 11th chapter, there's a very, very long list of the faults and shortcomings and problems that human beings have within Kali Yuga. Like a short life, 100 years. In Dwapara Yuga, they live for 1,000 years. In Treta Yuga, I think it was 10,000 years. And Satya Yuga, 100,000 years. So the lifespan is shortened. And, before Kali Yuga, whatever a disciple heard from Guru, he would remember for life. So the memory is less now. There's always some health problem of body and mind, always disturbed. So these symptoms of Kali, they're applicable to who? To those who are engaged in illicit sex, gambling, meat eating, intoxication. Kali, he worshipped Lord Shiva. It's mentioned in the one Purana. He worshipped Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva appeared before him, gave him darshan. and asked, what do you want? So Kali, he said, I want false credibility. I want to be respected and highly revered within human society falsely, because Kali, he's promoting irreligious principles. So he asked Lord Shiva, he wants false credibility. Another thing he asked was that he wanted to be close to the pure Vaishnavas, gurus and acharyas. There was one more thing he asked for, I can't remember. I might remember later. So Prabhupada here says, the leaders of society, who are they? They're demons. Prabhupada said here that they don't have the happiness and the welfare in mind of the public. Just when Kali was beating the leg of Dharmaraj, the bull, he was dressed as like a king, a royalty. But Kali is not royal. He's not a king, but he dressed and presented himself as such. So within the Kali Yuga, we should understand that the leaders of society, they are servants of Kali. So what are they doing? They're promoting irreligion. And if we read in 16th chapter the qualities of demons, we will understand who the leaders of society are in the present day. You know, I mean, Prabhupada saved us. Prabhupada gave us all this knowledge and understanding who we are, what this world is, you know, what is Kali Yuga, who is Kali, who we are, what is our purpose of life, what is the process of attaining. Prabhupada saved us from these leaders of society who are promoting irreligion. So, devotees, they don't have faith in demons. Devotees, they relate to people in 4 different ways, or 5 different ways. For the innocent, then they will try to help. For the envious, or the demons, because demons are very envious. Shankaracharya once said that attachment and envy are like the breasts of a woman. They are exactly the same thing, but they're differently situated. But they're the same thing. Envy, envy and attachment is basically it's the same thing. If one has any attachment in this world, and he does not have that thing that he wants, when he sees someone with that thing, then what will he feel inside? This is the what do you call it? These are the problems of being attached in this world. The attachments that we have in this world, the anathas, they are driving us, you know, in this world. When Arjuna asked that question to Krishna, why is it if someone has knowledge, but still he performs a sinful activity, even with knowledge? So Krishna said, it's calm, it's lust. So this lust, Krishna said, this lust, it burns like fire. So anyone who's attempted to be a devotee and to follow directions of Krishna and Guru and Vaishnavas, he will experience this burning. If a fire is burning and you pour ghee on that fire, the fire for a moment will go out, then will become 3 times as big, more. So sense gratification here in this world, the jivas, they are being pushed and forced and driven by their mind and senses, by the attachments and the desires. They are being driven and forced and pushed, and very violently. And so there's a lot of suffering involved in controlling the mind and senses. Even, I'm a homeopath. And so in homeopathy, there are actually homeopathic medicines for people who have been celibate for a extended period of time. And the homeopathic is very, very, very effective. But it's temporary. But the real solution is if one surrenders to pure Vaishnava Guru, tad vidi panipatena, paripratena, tad vidi paripra, shnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. Thank you. So a devotee, he gets darshan of Krishna, tattva darshana. So that darshan, when we get darshan, we become free from the influence of Maya. See, we are now under the influence of Mahamaya. And our purpose, the ultimate goal of life is Krishna Prema. So the purpose of human life, because animals, insects, other beings, they cannot progress in spiritual life, only in the human form. So we have a human form. So the ultimate goal is Krishna Prema. And so therefore, one to enter a relationship with Krishna, to enter Braj, one's heart must be totally free from any attachments in this world. So, and that's just one qualification. The other qualification, that one must be favorable to the service of Krishna, Vaishnavas and Guru. It's only by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas that we can get Krishna Prema. There's one song Bhaktivinoda Thakur he wrote, and he was begging Vaishnavas to give him the qualifications that are required to serve his Guru and Vaishnavas and Krishna purely. He's begging. Why is he begging? Because he wants Krishna Prema. Now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's an eternal associate of Radharani. So he appears in the form of a sadhak. In the form of a sadhak, he's praying. Because sadhan bhakti is a process by which we transfer from the influence of Maya to Yoga Maya. And that is done by getting the mercy of pure Vaishnavas. So, as a sadhak, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he understands that yes, to get Krishna Prema, I need the mercy of Vaishnavas. That's why he's begging. You know? So, if a devotee really wants Krishna Prema more than anything else, then that's what he will do. He'll follow the example of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And in that song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, I'm running. I'm a beggar running after the Vaishnavas and begging for Krishna Prem. Anybody doing that? You see, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 4 types of people come to me. Those who want freedom from suffering, those who want money, those who want knowledge, and those who want liberation. So those 4 types of people that come to Krishna, they're not looking for Krishna Prem. Why? Why they're not looking for Krishna Prem? Because they're ignorant. They don't know what is the goal of life. They don't know who they are. They don't know who Krishna is. I mean, Krishna is the Supreme God, the Creator. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is Mother Yasoda's little boy. She doesn't know he's God. So these devotees who come to Krishna, they have Sukriti. And in Bhagavatam it said, if one wants something in this world, then one should ask Krishna for that. So they're doing the right thing. But because they don't have association of pure Vaishnavas, they don't have sadhu sangha, they're not hearing the nectar from the lips of the pure Vaishnavas. So they don't know. So, but when they come to Krishna, they'll come to the temple, they'll give a donation, they'll do some service. And by this, and they'll do, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, they will do this. And so this gives an opportunity for association with the pure Vaishnava. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he opened so many temples all over India. Prabhupada opened so many temples all over the world. So many people came and got association with Prabhupada. So many people came and got association with Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. So because of that association, they will hear the nectar that's coming from their lips. And that will change the heart. When we hear from pure Vaishnavas, when it enters our ear, it enters our heart and will create changes and transformations within our heart. If that was not the case, there would be no meaning to anatta nivritti. By our own strength, we cannot free ourselves from the influence of Maya. We cannot purify our heart. Only by mercy of pure Vaishnava. And if we read Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's so many instances where Prabhupada has mentioned this. So, so the religious leaders, religious leaders throughout the world, all the leaders in the world, they're servants of Kali Maharaj. I'll give you an example of the Catholic Church. When Prabhupada began preaching, he would say to Christians that your 10 commandments, they say that you shall not kill. Why are you killing cows? So then they changed the wording, and they changed to thou shalt not murder. Murder is applicable only to human beings, not cows. So they changed. Huh? This is Kali. This is the servants of Kali. They are changing the reality. They are changing the reality into an illusion, They're changing purity into impurity. They are presenting impurity as purity. They are presenting ignorance as knowledge. I'll give an example. My daughter, when she was in high school, then she told me that one government official, in Australia, I'm from Australia, so in Australia the government has formed different associations or different, can't remember the word for it, but it's a government department. They established different government departments. So one department they establish, it's called sex education. So my daughter had to sit through 1 hour of basically promoting illicit sex with condoms, and also they were saying that you can choose your gender. Your gender is your choice. And they said, and the way you can choose your gender, if you're a man, you can take hormones, female hormones, that will grow breasts, your voice will become higher, you become more feminine. You will begin to lose the hair, manly hair on your body like this. You can choose your gender. And you just, the man just has to have an operation. So, you know, this is ignorance. And they're presenting it as socially acceptable, normal behavior. They passed a law in Australia that if a man will get the operation, take the hormones, and become more feminine, if anyone criticizes or laughs at that man, then there is a very, very strong law against that. And they will get fined so much money and can be put in jail. Huh? If we look at atheism in Vedic culture, you know, before these morons, before these idiots have taken over, Prabhupada, anyway, I'll get into that later. So, if we look at atheism, it wasn't like that. The atheists, previously, they supported family life. You know, husband, wife, children. This nonsense promoting, you know, nonsense in society, it's not even atheism. These are demons who are committed to destroying human society and the planet. So okay, so they're cheating. The leaders of society, they're cheating the world. I'll just give you one example: gold. So gold has always been the standard of wealth in the whole planet since time immemorial, since the creation before this and the creation before this. Gold has always been the standard of wealth. And so what did in US, what did they do? They made the dollar gold standard. In other words, if you had $1 US, it had the value of a certain amount of gold. And you could go and you could exchange that dollar for gold anytime you wanted to. So now Prabhupada mentions that, not in this purport, in another purport, that what they did, they issued 10 times the amount of currency than the value of the gold. So that's cheating. And what happens from that? Prabhupada called this dirty money because it supports corruption within society. So, but Prabhupada mentions in another purport, he says that if gold coins are used as a currency, then there's no dirty money, there's no corruption. And one of the symptoms of the corruption of gold with paper money is inflation. So the price of everything just keeps going up. So if someone has $1 million, in 10 years' time it's going to be worth less than $1 million in notes. This is corruption. This is cheating. So the leaders of human society all over the world, I'm just giving you, the tip of the iceberg here. But if we examine all aspects of our life, whether it's money, whether it's education, whether it's medicine, whether it's agriculture, you look at agriculture, for example. All the crops are sprayed with a poison. What's it called? Roundup. I can't remember the other name for it. Anyway, so this Roundup, remember I'm a natural therapist, so I've done some research in this. So this Roundup, the poison, it kills the good bacteria in the body. So the lower the good bacteria in the body, the lower the health will be. Now that's not enough. They're not happy with doing that. They have also added, like here in this area, they will use calcium bromide to ripen fruit. So calcium bromide is a poison. When I first came here 2 years ago, I was getting indigestion and heartburn from eating fruit here. And I was thinking, what is this? So then I found out later, it's all sprayed. And then after spraying, that's not enough. They will add more chemicals. So everyone is being poisoned on a daily basis all over the world. There is no need for these sprays. This is, how old is this agriculture? 50 years old maybe? 60? If we look for thousands and thousands of years before, there was no pesticides, there was no chemicals, there was no nonsense. Huh? When I first came to Mayapur in 1976, I saw 80-year-old men ploughing the fields. Why? Because they're not eating pesticides, chemicals. They're not eating genetically engineered food, which is the body doesn't even recognize as food. And the body has to work so hard, the body is under so much pressure to digest and assimilate these foods, artificially made foods, that it ruins the health. You look at 80-year-old men now, here, they've got a walking stick. They're all bent over. They're coughing. They can't eat. Digestion's not working. So if we look at atheism previously, they didn't do this. So who are these people who were destroying human society and the planet? There is so much plastic now in the world that everyone in the world is ingesting the equivalent of one credit card size of plastic on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. Everyone's wondering, why am I so sick? Why I have health problems? Huh? Everyone's wondering, why are they disturbed in their minds? They're promoting illicit sex. What does illicit sex do in society? Women, a society is only as good as the women within that society. The mother is the first guru. So if a woman is chaste, then she will make a good mother. The chances of her being a good mother is very high. And if a woman is not chaste, if she is sleeping with many men, then she becomes useless as a wife and as a mother. So why are these demons promoting illicit sex? If you watch any Hollywood movie, will you see husband and wife cooperating with each other, taking care of the children, and behaving correctly within society? Will you see such a movie? Bollywood, will you see such a movie? You know, I think it was in the 50s, I just want to give you an example how powerful movies are in influencing society. Marilyn Monroe, what was the name of that movie? Diamonds are a girl's best friend. So the birlas are the diamond merchants in the world, and they control all the diamonds. If there's a diamond mine discovered, they will go and they'll buy. So they're controlling the price of diamonds. So anyway, they paid for this movie because they wanted to promote their diamonds. So in this movie, Marilyn Monroe, she said that of all gemstones, diamonds was the girl's best friend. Now their sales of diamonds skyrocketed after that movie. So that's one sort of example. But if you look at the movies, they're all promoting illicit sex. Husband is no good. Husband should be rejected. Boyfriend is good. Then you will become happy. This is the message. So how powerful is this what do you call it? Hollywood movies. And they're using subliminal messages. The eye cannot see. When one watches a movie, one cannot see the actual subliminal messages that are coming through the movie. So Prabhupada here is saying that the leaders of the world, they're all corrupt and they're all destroying human society. These people are the worst people you can possibly imagine. You know, they're just like Kali Maharaj presented himself as royalty. So these demons, they are falsely presenting themselves as royalty. CIA, WHO, all these organizations, the heads of these organizations, they're so authoritative, you know, so powerful, and everyone is like this. But they're demons. They're destroying human society. If anyone does a little bit of research into every aspect of life throughout the world, they will see so much corruption, so much disturbance. But no one's doing this research. They will listen to the demons. But Vaishnavas, we have faith in Guru, in Krishna, and in Vaishnavas. We have faith in Bhagavad Gita. We have faith in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is our foundation of life, not demons. We don't even like demons. And for a devotee, they neglect and they reject the demons. They will help the innocent people. Those devotees who are on an equal level with them, they will make friends with them. Those who are superior to them, they will serve them. They will submit to them and serve them. So, you know, Vaishnava behavior and Vaishnava etiquette is there. Prabhupada established that. There's no secret, it's not hidden, it's in Prabhupada's books. So, getting back to women. So, so these demons, they know that if you destroy the chastity of women, then you will destroy human society. Arjuna, one of the reasons Arjuna gave to Krishna not to kill all the Kshatriyas is because their wives will then be without a husband, and then they will be not protected. And a woman who is not protected, they are very easily seduced. And they will have illicit connections, and then from those illicit connections there will be unwanted children. Those unwanted children will destroy the world. So this is how valuable chastity is within human society. A chaste woman has more value, has so much value, we cannot even imagine the value of a chaste woman who makes a good wife and a good mother. They are the building blocks of society. Without them, society is destroyed. It's finished. So, what destroys women? What destroys women? Chanaka Pandit explained, I'm going a little deep here. I hope I don't offend anyone. Please excuse me if I offend anyone, but I'm just quoting Prabhupada and I'm trying my best to establish what Prabhupada has given us. So in Niti Shastra by Chanaka Pandit, he said 4 things destroy women. He said bad association, intoxication, free time when they have no engagement. There's an English saying, what is it? That the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So, and the other one is free association with men. Now, if we look at human society through the educational system, through Hollywood, through the legal system, they're all supporting this destruction of women within society. We have to understand Kali Yuga. We have to understand what is Kali Yuga, what are the symptoms. Because if we don't know, then what will happen? We'll get lost. So we should know. And so now, because of the destruction of women throughout the world, we can see the crime rate is going up, the drug addiction is going up, unwanted children. You know, they abort so many children in US, and I guess around the world. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I did some research in US. They abort so many. I think it's like, it can be up to 1/3 of children who are aborted. Now, they've started businesses in US using aborted fetuses. I'm not going to go into it, it's too horrible. But, you know, from illicit sex, the whole society is ruined. That's why the greatest criminal in the world is not someone who kills cows. Greater than cow killing is illicit sex. Because illicit sex will destroy the society. The children will be ruined and the women will be ruined. He is considered the greatest sinner. And you look at gambling, you know, gambling all over the world. Like Maharaj Yudhisthira, he lost everything. Even Draupadi, his own wife, he lost in gambling. So how destructive is gambling? You know, gambling, you can lose everything. And intoxication, you know, if you don't go mad, you'll become very confused, weak individual. So sometimes it's very difficult to distinguish who is a demon and who is a devotee. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, he said that within the Kali Yuga there will be demons who will disguise themselves as devotees. And Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj once said that these servants of Kali who disguise themselves as devotees, I'm not just talking about ISKCON, I'm talking about all religious institutions. They have, anyway, so the Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said that they are so expert at presenting themselves as like a high-class devotee or even a pure devotee that only the pure devotees can actually see. So for the ordinary conditioned soul, it's very difficult to distinguish. And so if a devotee falls down, it's very difficult to understand. Now, is this a demon disguised as a devotee, or is this a genuine devotee who's fallen down because of weakness of mind? Very difficult. That's why we don't criticize anybody. Because we can't see. We can't see their heart. We don't know who they are. So therefore we don't criticize anybody. And this criticism destroys our bhakti. I think it was Sanatana Goswami once. He was in meditation. And he was in Braj, serving Radharani and Krishna. And so in his absorption, he lost all external consciousness. And one devotee who was crippled, and he was walking, you know, like in a crippled way, as he was walking past Sanatana Goswami, he saw Sanatana Goswami had a smile on his face. Now this smile was because of the ecstasy he was experiencing in Braj, serving his lordships. But that devotee thought that that this was that he was laughing at him. So when Sanatana Goswami came out of Samadhi, he lost all his taste for chanting, and he was inquiring from Rupa Goswami, why have I lost all my taste? I haven't offended any devotee. And so Rupa Goswami said, unconsciously you have offended a devotee. So we will organize a big feast. We will invite all devotees from all over Vrindavan. The one that doesn't come, will know you have offended that one. So that one, he did not come. And so then Sanatana Goswami begged his forgiveness. He was begging. And so that devotee forgave him and he regained his taste. So criticizing devotees, we've got to be very careful of that. I lost track of time. So, anyone have any questions? Hare Krishna.
You were saying that the Bible, they changed some words in the Bible to make them more accommodating for people. So there's people who want to do that to Srila Prabhupada's books also. They want to delete things that Prabhupada says that people may find uncomfortable with to make them more accommodating. Is that an innovation that'll help preaching?
As far as I understand, then Prabhupada said that Satsvarup could edit Prabhupada's books until he left the planet. So as far as my understanding is that after Prabhupada left, no more editing. But maybe that's my understanding, right? I mean, devotees have their own understanding. So, me personally, I like the original Prabhupada's books. But, and there's many devotees around the world that are complaining about that now. But, I don't know, you know, like, whatever Prabhupada has written for me, you know, I'm really happy with that. And whatever changes have been introduced after Prabhupada, because when Satsvarupa was doing the changes, and Prabhupada was still on the planet, and he could make adjustments, or he could, you know, do. But now that Prabhupada's not physically present, then that's not being done anymore. You understand? Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much for the wonderful class. On this point, you quoted from Bhaktivinoda Thakur that only pure devotees can see those in an institution who are deviating, but others will not be able to see this. So, for an average devotee, because we have to be very careful when we choose a spiritual master and whom we follow, whom we listen from. So for an average devotee, he can still use his intelligence to see, you know, what this person is doing, you know, whom he is following. Is he following Prabhupada's teachings, or, you know, like you mentioned, there are some who are following the propaganda of the mainstream, WHO, World Economic Forum. So it's not difficult to see if somebody is deviating from Prabhupada's teachings. So how do we understand that only pure devotees can actually see the, you know, people who are deviating from the pure teachings?
Well, maybe you're a pure devotee and you can see that, but according to Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, it's not possible. It's only really possible for a pure Vaishnava to see actually an agent of Kali disguised as a religious person. And as far as we are concerned, you know, our purpose, our you know, is to attain Krishna Prem. If we really want Krishna Prem, then Krishna will help us. He will save us from the demons. I'll give you an example. I can give you many, but I've got 1 minute left. So in Australia, in the Vietnam War in the 1970s, I got a letter from the government saying that I have been called up to the army, to the military, to go to Vietnam. So when I went there, they interviewed me. Psychiatrists, they had 3 psychiatrists, they interviewed me. And I remember things that I was saying to them, I was thinking, where's this coming from? You know? So anyway, later I got a letter saying that you are not suitable for the army. So Krishna saved me. If I wasn't a devotee, I would have went to Vietnam. Maybe got killed or went mad, or, you know. So we are dependent on Guru Vaishnavas and Krishna. So regardless of if there's demons, if there's not, what this devotee is doing, what that devotee is doing, it's not really important. What is really important is what we are doing. What is in our heart, what we can do, how we are doing, how is our bhajan and sadhan, how is that going? If we're going to be concerned with everyone else's faults, what they're doing wrong or what they shouldn't be doing or whatever, then is there any space or time within ourselves to develop Krishna consciousness, to think of Guru, to serve Guru? We'll be in the external world, lost in the faults of others. And by meditating on the faults of others, we will imbibe those faults. Huh? Okay, I got to stop now. I'm on very strict orders to stop class at 9 o'clock, and it's already 4 minutes past. If anyone has any questions or want to discuss further, we can discuss now after this class. Gaura Brahmanandi Hari 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 Bo. Vanchakalpaturubhishta kripasintabhya vichapati dhanapapane vaishnave namo namaha. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev.